What's going on, guys? Detached here, and welcome back to the channel. Today we're doing something a little bit different, and we're going old school with some retro gaming. So we're going to take a look at Assassin's Creed 3, which was one of my favorites. So let's jump in and get back to some old school gaming.
No ambition, no direction, no plans for the future. What he did have was a heritage, one he chose to deny. It nearly cost him his life. He was captured and imprisoned. Those who took him believed he could help them find something. The apple. One of several artifacts we call pieces of Eden. Bits of ancient technology scattered across the globe. Some hidden, some found, all of them dangerous. Most are held by a single group, the same group that now had Desmond. You know them as Abstergo Industries. We know them as the Templars. As the enemy. We've been fighting them for thousands of years. Even longer if you believe the stories of their origins. I do. After all, I've seen the truth. That's the beauty and the horror of the Animus. A device that allows us to enter and experience the lives of our ancestors. It holds the power to change everything, to show us history the way it really happened. Up until its creation, to the victor went the spoils, went the truth. We're trying to fix that, to free minds and bodies both. But there's only so much that we can do, and the Templars have the upper hand these days. But something larger than the Assassins and Templars is approaching, bigger than all of us. And if we can't find a way to stop it, these next few weeks will probably be our last. Everyone's last. In the end, it all comes down to him. To Desmond. Through the Animus, he discovered his heritage, explored the lives of his ancestors, and uncovered their secrets. When that was done, he trained. He used another ancestor to provide decades of experience in the span of a few days. It worked. We think. We hope. Soon, though, soon we'll know. That ominous date fast approaches, December 21st, 2012. None of us knows what it'll bring, only that this is where they want us to be, when it does. They've been guiding us in their own fractured, frustrating way. These voices from the first civilization, the ones who came before, a precursor race of immense power and uncertain motives. They're the ones who made the pieces of Eden. This is where they've led him, and through him, us. He stands at the entrance to this long-lost place, armed with the knowledge of Altair and the abilities of Ezio. He holds in his hands the apple of Eden, and we stand at his side, ready to support him however we can. His name is Desmond Miles, and he has brought us to the end. Let's go.
Okay, guys, as we jump in as Desmond, let's try and remember what this game is about. It's been a long time since I've played Assassin's Creed 3, but I do remember the storyline being almost the best one that we've had to date. I really loved Syndicate, but Assassin's Creed 3 just had a immense feeling of history to it, and I think because it was set in the timepiece, it was one of my favorite eras. The 17 to 1800s was one of my favorite historical timepieces in America. So we're gonna jump in as Desmond. We're gonna relive that life once again and check all of this game out.
In another moment, down went Alice after it, never once considering how in the world she was to get out again.
Alright, time to crawl down the creepy hallway once again. If I remember right, this just being the intro area, it takes you into a little bit of a tutorial mode that allows you to play some of the different features of how the character operates.
I think we're here.
Some pretty amazing technology for an old cave, for sure. So the apple that Desmond has is definitely one of the great relics that the former race that created these different Eden relics for sure had. Now it is for us to go back in time, back into our ancestors' lives, and determine next steps. So here we go, destined to fall asleep once again in the Animus and check out our ancestors' lives.
The temple triggered a bleeding effect. You collapsed and entered into a fugue state.
So naturally, you dropped me into the Animus instead of, I don't know, making sure I was okay?
You weren't in any danger. Besides, the temple appeared to be communicating with you, and I didn't want to risk severing the connection. At least not until we knew what it wanted.
Right. Of course.
Son,
No, it's fine. I get it. And I know what I'm looking for, by the way. It's a key. Just no idea where it is, though. Guess that's why she triggered the bleeding effect.
She?
Juno, Dad. She's talking to me.
Okay, Desmond. While you were, visiting Constantinople, we picked up a software update for the Animus. I'd like to run a couple of quick tests, make sure there aren't any major issues.
All right. What do you need me to do?
We'll start simple.
Okay, so here comes the first intro to the actual game. We will be bypassing all of this, so we won't bore everybody to absolute death. Here is where the official game starts, and we are now playing a character named Connor Kenway, and we are making our way to an opera house to create a little trouble. So just hang on, guys, because this is one of my favorite scenes in the game. These old opera houses have so much history to them. I've always wanted to visit kind of a historical recreation of an opera house just like this one.
Invitation, please. Shall I take your coat, sir?
Although I suppose
Ladies and gentlemen, you are requested to kindly find your seats.
Okay, let's make our way into the opera house because we will be meeting someone very soon. We are actually here to meet an old friend per se and finish out a contract, if you know what I mean. This is called Assassin's Creed for a reason.
My apologies.
Now, Connor Kenway is a noble, so he does descend from British royalty per se.
Evening, Hatham.
Reginald?
I can't tell you how happy I was to hear they'd mounted this revival. Gay's best work by far. Have you seen it before?
Once. My father brought me here as a child. Though I remember little of it. I don't suppose tonight will afford me the luxury of a proper viewing either.
No, I'm afraid it won't. On to business then. Do you see him?
So is mine. Like me too, he acts in a double capacity, both against Rhodes and for him.
He's seated in one of the boxes above.
The stairs are watched. You'll need to find another way up.
Sir, Black Mall had sent word of trial comes on in the
already
afternoon,
have.
and she hopes you will order matters so as to bring her off.
As the wench is very active and industrious, you may satisfy her that I'll soften the evidence.
Tom Gag, sir, is found guilty.
A lazy dog. When I took him the time before, I told him.
This game's system, as far as the mechanics and ways to climb, don't really differ from any of the other games. In fact, this one was pretty smooth for the most part.
Let Betty Sly know I'll save her from the transportation.
Now, Hatham is a little bit different as far as his looks. Again, he was a noble, so one wouldn't really expect him to be an assassin, but he is quite skilled and very highly, probably my favorite out of all of the different Assassin's Creed games and the ancestors that we've seen. As we creep along this balcony, as you can see, there are people who aren't watching the show, and there some are. Probably a very private showing. Now, how on earth do they not even realize that somebody is crawling across the wall? Either these people just don't have eyes whatsoever, or the people across the way in the boxes just can't see. I love this actual mechanic in the game that they put in here for picking locks. It really just kind of makes you feel like you're a bad A, that you can pick a lock, and makes you feel kind of like a thief. They did a really good job with the whole game. This is, like I said, it's a retro game. I mean, this is off of the 360 system, so it came out quite a few years ago, but all in all, they had great cinematics, they had great graphics, and everything from a standpoint of the game had a good flow. There were really not many bugs with this game.
burning of the boards tonight is a marvel. Well, I love to make them easy one way or other.
When a gentleman is long kept in suspense, penitence may break his spirit ever after. Besides, certainty gives a man a good air upon his trial, and makes him risk another without fear or scruple. But all away, for 'tis a pleasure to be the messenger of comfort.
So here is our old friend that we will be making a reacquaintance with tonight, and he has an item that we're actually after we'll be using through pretty much the rest of the game.
Hey, Ethan. You should have come to me. We would have found another way.
Yes. But then you would have known. For what it's worth, I'm sorry.
As am I.
Alright, now we've got to book it out of here because those two ladies we just passed, I'm sure are going to be finding that body any time. Or the little boy is going to be telling them. And there's the scream from the murder that we just caused. So let's get out of here and go find our stableman.
A man was killed from the upper balcony. I've done no wrong. I search it. Any weapons?
I beg your pardon. Did you notice? No pushing, please.
Patience, please. Order.
Let us
We must have order. Peace, friends. They
That's an opera.
I can't get out of here fast enough.
Quite a good man. Not receiving voice. I will ask our Kapellmeister to invite him.
It happened right in that balcony.
What are those men doing in there?
Peace, friends, there is no danger!
Move! Move!
Hey!
Imbecile!
I like how the place instantly went in an uproar. From the time that we stabbed the guy with the knife to told the little boy to be quiet from the girls screaming, maybe 45 seconds total. And you have the entire place, and this is not a small opera house. There are thousands of people here, and instantly went into an uproar. A little unbelievable from a game mechanic, but we are getting ready to head outside and find our butler slash stableman, and we are gonna bolt out of this joint very quickly and move on through the game.
And how was the opera?
Rather dull, truth be told.
Shall we be off then?
Aye. To Fleet and Bride.
By your command.
Fascinating. Gentlemen, I hold in my hand a key. And if this book is to be believed, it will open the doors of a storehouse built by those who came before.
Ah, yes. Those who ruled, reigned, and vanished from the world. Do we know what it is that to be held within?
It could contain certain knowledge. Perhaps a weapon, or something as yet unknown, unfathomable in its construction and purpose. It could be any of these things, or none of them. They are still an enigma, these precursors. But of one thing I am certain. Whatever waits behind those doors shall prove a great boon to us all.
Or our enemies, should they find it first.
They won't. You've seen to that.
I assume you know where this storehouse is?
Ah, Mr. Harrison.
Gentlemen,
How fare your calculations?
I believe the site lies somewhere within this region.
That's a lot of ground to cover.
My apologies. Were that I could be more accurate.
That's all right. It suffices for a start. And that is why we've called you here, Master Kenway. We'd like for you to travel to America, locate the storehouse, and take possession of its contents.
I'm yours to command, although a job of this magnitude will require more than just myself.
Of course. Upon this paper are the names of 5 men sympathetic to our cause. Each is also uniquely suited to aid you in your endeavor. With them at your side, you'll want for nothing.
Well, then I'd best be on my way.
I knew our faith in you was not misplaced. We booked you passage to Boston. Your ship leaves at dawn. Go forth, Hatham, and bring honor to us all.
Well guys, thank you so much for hanging out with me. I appreciate all the support on the channel. That's going to do it for today's episode of Assassin's Creed 3. I hope you continue to join in on our retro gaming days that we have started. I'll be dropping a couple of videos a week of retro games, and we'll continue to do the series of Assassin's Creed 3. I hope you all are enjoying your week. Drop a like and a comment if you're new to the channel, and subscribe. It definitely helps. I hope you all have an amazing afternoon. You all stay awesome, and I will see you next time.